hands. Everyone wants to stand. I roll in my jack. Fast like the wind, everybody's on the board. Roll to the streets, I'm the man with the plan. Got the world in my hands, every woman wants to stand. I roll in my jag, fast like the wind. Every mission I take, you know I'm gonna win.
Welcome to J-Cat Adventures, where intrigue meets elegance. Jay Bahari is the creator of the J-Cat character, a dark, handsome, and irresistibly charming playboy navigating elite circles with a purpose, protecting the vulnerable and delivering justice. Immerse yourself in thrilling escapades, luxurious settings, and captivating romances through ebooks, print editions, and crafted for lovers of suspense, adventure, and timeless drama. Join a global community of fans as we dive into J-Cat's heart-stopping journeys, stories that blend elegance with danger, heroism with passion. Subscribe now and awaken your spirit for excitement, justice, and unrelenting romance.
I'm writing my name in the history is fake. I'm the cat with the 9 lives, playing the game.
Hi, I am Gregory the AI, narrator for Jay Bahari. Let's go. J-Cat, Human Trafficking Part 2. A global threat unfolds. The data J-Cat and Didi recovered from the Amazon compound didn't just expose the Abyss Consortium's operations. It uncovered their far-reaching plans. The Consortium wasn't content with merely trafficking human lives and illegal goods. They sought to infiltrate governments, bribe officials, and destabilize nations. The operation had evolved into a multi-pronged assault on global security. The most alarming discovery was a secret event marked as Project Sovereign. It was scheduled to take place in less than a month, involving a clandestine summit of the world's most powerful criminal figures. Calderón had been organizing this summit to consolidate his control over rival syndicates and secure the consortium's dominance for decades to come. The summit was set to take place in Istanbul, a city where East met West and secrecy could thrive amid the chaos. It would be the perfect staging ground for J-Cat's next move. "This is it," Didi said, reviewing the intel. "We take down Project Sovereign, and we don't just stop the consortium. We cut off its head." "And Calderón?" J-Cat asked, his voice cold and resolute. Didi looked at him, her eyes serious. "We end him." J-Cat and Didi arrived in Istanbul under cover. The city buzzed with life, a maze of crowded streets and towering skyscrapers. The summit was being held at the Zeren Luxor, a luxury skyscraper with state-of-the-art security. Their plan was bold and dangerous. J-Cat would infiltrate the summit as a potential ally of the consortium, using forged credentials that Didi's tech team had created. Meanwhile, Didi and a small strike team would be stationed in a safe house across the Bosphorus Strait, ready to act at a moment's notice. "Once you're inside, we'll only have a narrow window to act," Didi warned. "Calderón is paranoid. If he even suspects you're not who you say you are." "He won't," J-Cat said confidently, adjusting his tailored suit. "I'll make sure of it." The Zeren Luxor was a glittering beacon of wealth and power, its upper floors reserved for the summit's elite attendees. J-Cat moved through the crowd with practiced ease, his dark allure and commanding presence earning him subtle nods of respect. He scanned the room, taking note of the key players. Arms dealers, drug lords, corrupt politicians, every kind of criminal imaginable was represented. And at the center of it all was Calderón, his icy demeanor commanding absolute authority. "Mr. Reynard," Calderón said, addressing J-Cat by his alias. "It's rare to see a new face in this circle. Tell me, what brings you to my summit?" J-Cat met Calderón's gaze, his expression unreadable. "I'm a man who values opportunities," he said smoothly. "And from what I've heard, you're the one who creates them." Calderón smiled faintly. "Indeed. But opportunities come with risks. Are you prepared to face them?" "Always," J-Cat replied, his voice edged with steel. As the summit unfolded, J-Cat planted listening devices and gathered intel on the attendees. The conversations he overheard confirmed his worst fears. Project Sovereign wasn't just a meeting, it was a declaration of war. The consortium was planning coordinated attacks across major cities to destabilize economies and create chaos. Didi's voice came through his earpiece. "Jay, we've got a problem. Our safe house has been compromised. They're onto us." J-Cat's jaw tightened. "Get out of there. I'll handle things here." "No," Didi said firmly. "You're not going in alone. We'll regroup and—" Her voice was cut off by static, followed by gunfire. "Didi." J-Cat hissed, but there was no response. He had no choice but to proceed. The night culminated in a lavish gala on the summit's rooftop, where Calderón was set to deliver a speech. J-Cat moved through the crowd, his sharp eyes scanning for any sign of Didi or her team. Calderón took the stage, his voice calm and commanding as he addressed the attendees. Tonight marks the dawn of a new era. Together, we will reshape the world in our image. J-Cat used the distraction to slip closer to Calderón, his gun hidden beneath his jacket. But before he could make his move, Calderón turned, his pale eyes locking onto him. "Ah, Mr. Reynard," Calderón said, his smile cruel. "Did you really think I wouldn't see through your disguise?" Guards closed in on J-Cat, their weapons drawn. But he didn't hesitate. In a blur of motion, he disarmed the nearest guard and fired, the rooftop erupting into chaos. Calderón fled toward a waiting helicopter, and J-Cat gave chase, dodging bullets and taking out guards with ruthless precision. J-Cat caught up to Calderón on the helipad, the two men squaring off in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Calderón was strong and skilled, but J-Cat fought with a relentless fury, his every move fueled by the lives the Consortium had destroyed. "You think you're a hero," Calderón sneered, blood dripping from his mouth. "But you're just another player in the game." "I don't play games," J-Cat growled, delivering a final, devastating blow. Calderón collapsed to the ground, defeated. As the helicopter exploded in the distance, signaling the end of the summit, J-Cat heard a familiar voice behind him. "Did you miss me?" He turned to see Didi, battered but alive, flanked by her team. "What took you so long?" he asked, a rare smirk crossing his face. "Traffic," she quipped, handing him a comms device. "We've got confirmation, the intel you gathered is already being acted on. The Consortium's network is falling apart." J-Cat nodded, the weight of the mission finally lifting from his shoulders. Back in their headquarters, J-Cat reviewed the aftermath of the summit. Dozens of arrests had been made, and the Consortium's operations were in shambles. But he knew the fight wasn't over. "These people don't give up easily," he said to Didi. "There's always another shadow." "Then we'll keep hunting," she replied. J-Cat's gray eyes gleamed with determination. "Until there's nowhere left for them to hide." As the sun rose over the city, J-Cat prepared for his next mission, his resolve unshaken. The abyss might be vast, but he was relentless. And no matter how deep the shadows ran, J-Cat would always be there to bring the light. Weeks after the chaotic takedown of Project Sovereign, J-Cat was still haunted by the remnants of the Consortium. Though Calderón's operations were crippled and many of his lieutenants were in prison or dead, whispers of a new leader rising from the ashes reached J-Cat through the intelligence underground. The intel was scarce, but one name kept surfacing: Varya Casanova. A ruthless financier and former confidant of Calderón, Casanova was rumored to have seized control of the surviving factions of the Consortium. Unlike her predecessor, she preferred to operate in the shadows, her power spreading through subtle manipulation and blackmail rather than brute force. "This isn't just rebuilding," Didi said, reviewing the latest reports. "She's restructuring. Making it more decentralized, harder to track." J-Cat leaned against the desk, his face unreadable. "Then we find her before she finishes the job." The first clue came from an unlikely source, Gator, the captured trafficker who had given J-Cat the location of the Amazon compound. From his heavily guarded prison cell, Gator requested another meeting, claiming to have information on Casanova. "She's not like Calderón," Gator warned when J-Cat visited him. "Calderón was driven by ego. Casanova is patient, calculating. She's playing the long game." "And what's her next move?" J-Cat asked, his tone ice cold. "She's planning something big. A trade in the Mediterranean, a shipment of girls, weapons, and intel. She's using it to re-establish her network. If you intercept it, you'll cripple her before she gains traction." J-Cat studied Gator for a long moment. "Why help me?" Gator shrugged. "Self-preservation. If Casanova consolidates power, I won't live long enough to finish this sentence." The mission brought J-Cat and Didi to the shimmering waters of the Mediterranean, where a luxury yacht, the Calista, was serving as the staging ground for Casanova's operation. Disguised as a wealthy arms dealer, J-Cat boarded the yacht during an exclusive auction, while Didi coordinated from a nearby vessel. The atmosphere on the yacht was a facade of opulence, with chandeliers glittering and champagne flowing freely. But beneath the surface, danger loomed. Armed guards patrolled the decks, and security was tight. J-Cat moved through the crowd with his usual dark charm, blending in effortlessly as he scoped out the operation. He soon identified the shipment's holding area, a heavily guarded storage room in the yacht's lower deck. Didi's voice came through his earpiece. "Be careful, J. Casanova herself might be on board." "Good," J-Cat replied. The auction began in the grand ballroom, where a chilling display of power unfolded. The crowd of criminals and corrupt elites eagerly bid on a mix of illegal goods, stolen artifacts, experimental weapons, and, most horrifyingly, human lives. J-Cat maintained his cover, his sharp eyes scanning for Casanova. Then she appeared, descending a marble staircase with the grace of a queen. Varya Casanova was striking, tall, elegant, and radiating a cold, unshakable confidence. Her piercing blue eyes swept the room, commanding instant respect and fear. "She's here," J-Cat murmured into his calm. "Copy that," Didi replied. "What's the move?" "We wait. Let her show her hand." Casanova took the stage and addressed the audience, her voice smooth and magnetic. "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight marks the beginning of a new era. What you see before you is a testament to resilience and ambition. And for those willing to invest in the future, the rewards will be unparalleled." The room erupted in applause, but J-Cat's focus remained on Casanova. He knew she wasn't just hosting the auction, she was orchestrating the entire operation. As the auction continued, J-Cat made his way to the storage area, using a stolen access card to bypass the guards. Inside, he found rows of terrified captives, along with crates of weapons and documents that could expose Casanova's plans. He was about to signal Didi when the door slammed shut behind him. Turning, he found himself face to face with Casanova herself, flanked by armed guards. "Mr. Reynard," she said, her tone mocking. "Or should I say, Agent J-Cat? Did you really think you could infiltrate my ship without me noticing?" J-Cat smirked, his gun already drawn. "You caught me. What's the plan now? Monologue me to death?" Casanova's smile was icy. "Oh, I have something far more entertaining in mind." Before J-Cat could react, a guard lunged at him. Chaos erupted in the confined space as J-Cat fought off the guards with brutal efficiency, his training and instincts kicking in. Casanova watched from a safe distance, her expression unreadable. Didi, monitoring the situation from her vantage point, realized something had gone wrong. "Jay, what's happening? Your signal's unstable." "I'm making friends," J-Cat grunted, disarming a guard and using him as a human shield. "Get ready for extraction." He fought his way back to the upper deck, where Didi's boat was closing in. The remaining captives were being loaded onto lifeboats, thanks to a covert strike team Didi had called in. Casanova, however, wasn't about to let him escape. She appeared on the deck, holding a detonator in one hand and a smug smile on her face. "You think you've won?" she called out. "Even if you destroy this shipment, I have dozens more. You can't stop the abyss. It's bigger than you, bigger than me." J-Cat didn't hesitate. He aimed and fired, the shot striking the detonator and knocking it from her hand. The explosion that followed was smaller than Casanova had intended but powerful enough to set the yacht ablaze. J-Cat leapt into the water as the yacht erupted into flames, the intense heat searing his skin. Didi's boat pulled alongside him, and she hauled him aboard, her expression a mix of relief and frustration. "You're insane," she said as he collapsed onto the deck. "Gets the job done," he replied, coughing up seawater. From the distance, they watched as the burning yacht sank beneath the waves. But Casanova was nowhere to be found. "She'll come back," Didi said grimly. J-Cat nodded, his expression unreadable. "Then we'll be ready." Back at headquarters, J-Cat reviewed the recovered documents. The data revealed the full scope of Casanova's operations, including key allies and future targets. "She's more dangerous than Calderón ever was," Didi said, leaning over his shoulder. "She's not just running the abyss, she's evolving it." J-Cat's gray eyes darkened. "Then we evolve, too." As he prepared for his next mission, J-Cat knew the fight against the abyss was far from over. But he also knew one thing for certain: no matter how deep the shadows ran, he would always find a way to bring them into the light. The war against the abyss was just beginning, and J-Cat was ready to face it. In the weeks that followed the fiery destruction of the Callista, Varya Casanova remained a ghost. Despite J-Cat and Didi's best efforts to track her movements, she slipped through every crack, leaving only faint whispers of her resurgence. What remained of the Consortium's resources had been pulled into one terrifying objective: global blackmail on a scale never seen before. Through the decrypted files retrieved from the yacht, JCat uncovered Cashanova's next move. Using a hidden network of offshore servers and stolen encryption algorithms, she had developed a digital weapon, a program capable of crashing financial systems, exposing classified intelligence, and holding entire nations hostage. The program was nicknamed Thanatos, and it was hidden in the most unlikely of places, a secret data farm buried beneath the frozen tundra of Siberia. "This isn't just power," Didi said, pacing in their war room. "It's control. If she activates Thanatos, she won't just be running the Consortium. She'll have the world on its knees." JCat stood silently, staring at the map. His mind was already racing, planning. Then we stop her before she pushes the button. Siberia was a frozen wasteland, harsh and unforgiving. JCat and Didi's team arrived under the cover of night, armed with the best tech and firepower their allies could muster. The data farm was hidden beneath an abandoned mining facility, heavily guarded by Consortium mercenaries. "This isn't just security," JCat said as he scoped out the perimeter. "She's expecting us." Didi's voice crackled in his earpiece. "Then let's make sure we don't disappoint her." The team moved in with surgical precision, disabling perimeter defenses and taking out guards silently. But as they descended into the underground facility, they realized just how prepared Cashanova was. Automated turrets, motion sensors, and layers of encrypted firewalls slowed their progress at every turn. "We're running out of time," Didi warned, hacking into the security system. "Thanatos is already booting up." JCat's jaw tightened. "Keep pushing. I'll handle Cashanova." JCat found Cashanova in the heart of the facility, standing before a massive server array glowing with ominous red light. She wore a sleek black suit, her calm demeanor masking the chaos unfolding around her. "You're persistent," she said, not bothering to turn around. "I'll give you that." "Turn it off, Cashanova," JCat ordered, his gun trained on her. "This ends now." She finally turned to face him, her icy blue eyes meeting his steely gray ones. "You think you've won just by finding me? You don't understand. Thanatos is already in motion. Even if you kill me, the program will execute itself. The Consortium doesn't need me to survive." JCat took a step closer, his voice low and deadly. "Then I'll stop the program. And you'll never see the light of day again." Cashanova smirked. "You're welcome to try." Suddenly, the room was plunged into darkness as she triggered a power surge. Alarms blared, and red emergency lights bathed the room in an eerie glow. Cashanova's elite guards stormed the room, and JCat found himself in a brutal firefight. He moved with lethal precision, his movements fluid and instinctive. Each shot was calculated, each punch devastating. Meanwhile, Didi worked frantically from the control room. "I'm in the system, but it's rigged with traps. Every time I try to shut it down, it redirects itself." "Figure it out," JCat growled, disarming a guard and using his weapon to take out another. Cashanova used the chaos to slip away, heading toward an escape elevator. JCat noticed her just in time and gave chase, his boots pounding against the metal floor. The chase ended in a high-tech control room overlooking the Siberian landscape. Cashanova was cornered, but she showed no fear. "You're too late," she said, pulling a small device from her pocket. "With one push of this button, Thanatos goes live." JCat raised his weapon, his voice cold. "Don't test me, Varya." She laughed softly. "You don't scare me, Agent. You're a relic of a world that doesn't exist anymore. The future belongs to people like me, people who understand that power isn't taken. It's built." In that moment, Didi's voice came through JCat's comm. "I've got it. The core's locked, but I need one more minute to completely disable it." Cashanova smirked, sensing the hesitation. 1 minute's too long." JCat fired, the bullet striking the device in her hand and shattering it. Cashanova screamed in rage, lunging at him with a knife. The two engaged in a vicious fight, their movements fast and ruthless. Despite her skill, Cashanova was no match for JCat's relentless determination. He disarmed her and pinned her to the ground. "It's over," he said, his voice like steel. Didi's voice crackled in his ear. "We're clear. Thanatos is offline." Cashanova was taken into custody, her empire in ruins. The Consortium, once a monolithic force of evil, had been dismantled piece by piece. As the team regrouped, Didi looked at JCat, her expression a mix of exhaustion and admiration. "You did it." "We did it," he corrected, his usual stoicism softening for a moment. But as they prepared to leave Siberia, J-Cat's mind was already racing. The abyss might be destroyed, but he knew the shadows were never truly gone. Back at headquarters, J-Cat stood alone, reviewing the aftermath of the mission. Dee entered, holding a folder. "New intel just came in," she said. "There's a splinter group trying to rise from the Consortium's ashes. Small, but dangerous." J-Cat took the folder, his gray eyes gleaming with resolve. "Then we deal with them." As he walked out of the room, his silhouette was framed by the setting sun, a lone figure standing between the innocent and the abyss. The fight was far from over, but J-Cat was ready for whatever came next. J-Cat, Into the Abyss of Power ends here. But his story continues.
In the shadows he roamed, but he shines so bright. With every step he takes, he's doing it.
And that's a wrap on another thrilling episode of J-Cat Adventures. I hope you've been on the edge of your seat, caught up in the mystery, excitement, and danger that always follows J-Cat wherever he goes. From heart-pounding action to deep emotional connections, J-Cat's world never fails to surprise. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on the next big adventure. Whether you're into romance, suspense, or mind-bending mysteries, there's always something more coming. Want to dive deeper? Explore more of J-Cat's thrilling escapades by grabbing an ebook at Etsy or head over to Amazon for paperbacks and hard copies. Trust me, you'll want to have J-Cat's latest adventure right in your hands. And remember, the podcast continues across your favorite platforms: iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Wherever you go, J-Cat is right there, ready to bring you into his world of suspense, romance, and nonstop action. Are you loving the thrilling adventures of J-Cat the Fearless and the heartwarming stories of kindness and love on the J Bahari podcast? If so, we need your support to keep the magic alive. Your donation helps us bring you weekly episodes packed with romance, suspense, crime, and classic drama, all delivered with a touch of daring excitement. If you're hooked on the suave style of J-Cat and his action-packed escapades, show your support today. Click the link to donate and help us continue creating the stories you love. Thank you for being part of the journey. Until next time, keep that spirit of adventure burning bright. The world is filled with endless possibilities, and J-Cat is proof that no mystery is too big to solve. Remember, click on the agent hotline and share your real-life spy story, and I'll work it into my next mission. I'll add my own commentary, throw in a little espionage flair, and make your story a part of the action. Because the next chapter of J-Cat Adventures is just around the corner.
But he shines so bright. With every step he takes, he's doing it right. He's J-Cat, the name that rings in every city. Slick with the moves, ain't nothing here pretty. From the boardroom to the streets, he's the man with the plan. Got the world in my hands, every woman wants to stand. He rolling, he's Jack, fast like the wind. Every mission he take, you know he's gonna win. Ladies on his left, danger on the right, but it's love and respect that he's bringing to the fight. He's the cat with the 9 lives, playing the game. A heart full of fire can't be tamed. In the shadows he roamed, but he shines so bright. With every step he takes, he's doing it right. He's J-Cat, the name that rings in every city. Slick with the moves, ain't nothing here pretty. Cool soul in a digital age. Jay Bahari's love breaking out of range. Soul ambition breaking down the wall. 60 years deep, but his spirit is young. Every heart is strong. From the binary beats to the pixelated sky, soaring high. He's on a quest to spread love. So here's to Jay Bahari, a love pioneer, spreading love message live. He's on a quest to spread love, soaring high. So here's to Jay Bahari, a love pioneer, spreading love messages loud and clear in the digital.
Disclaimer. The Adventures of Jay Cat is a work of fiction. The characters, events, and settings depicted in this series are the products of the author's imagination and are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. This series contains mature themes, including but not limited to romantic and erotic content, that may not be suitable for all audiences. Reader discretion is advised. The depictions of relationships, encounters, and situations are intended for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect real-life practices or endorse any specific behaviors. The portrayal of characters, including their actions and interactions, is intended to be a dramatic and fictional narrative. The series is not intended to promote or condone any form of violence, exploitation, or abuse. The character of Jay Cat, while depicted as a hero in fictional scenarios, is a creation meant to entertain and should not be considered a role model for real-life behavior. Readers are reminded that this is a work of fiction and should enjoy it as such. Any interpretations or applications of the content within real-world contexts are the responsibility of the reader. The author and publishers disclaim any liability for actions taken by readers based on fictional portrayals and scenarios in the series. Notes. Jay Bahari, the imaginative mind behind The Adventures of Jay Cat, has a unique talent for weaving tales of mystery, romance, and adventure. With a flair for creating captivating characters and intricate plots, Jay Bahari brings to life the dark and handsome playboy, Jay Cat, whose escapades enthrall readers and leave them eagerly awaiting the next thrilling episode. Jay Bahari's storytelling is enriched by a deep understanding of human nature and a keen eye for detail, crafting narratives that resonate with both excitement and emotional depth. Each episode of Jay Cat's adventures is a testament to Bahari's ability to blend intrigue with passion, creating a world where the extraordinary becomes reality. In this creative journey, Jay Bahari has harnessed the power of artificial intelligence to enhance the storytelling process. With the help of AI input, Bahari has been able to explore new dimensions of creativity, pushing the boundaries of conventional storytelling to deliver an experience that is both innovative and compelling. Together, Jay Bahari and AI have crafted a series that not only entertains but also captivates the imagination, inviting readers into a world where seduction and suspense intertwine in the most alluring ways. This collaboration stands as a testament to the endless possibilities that arise when human creativity meets cutting-edge technology, forging a path to stories that are as mesmerizing as they are unforgettable.